Television has evolved so dramatically in the last generation, and a lot of you on stage are responsible particularly for the beautiful growth, I would say, of reality TV. If you could look forward at the future of reality television and also the future of television in general, what is most exciting to you?
You know, in terms of television, it's tough because there's a lot of people who don't even watch that much television. You know, they watch on their computers or their tablets or whatever. So I think some of the best stuff out there is being made on television now, especially in scripted. I mean, there's shows out there that are great, like the AMC shows and FX. The shows, a lot of it, for me, I gravitate towards the cable side of it. But I think that there's a lot of different outlets for many different types of material. So it gives you, a better chance, depending upon your idea or what you have, to find a home for it somewhere, in the television landscape, I think. So I think the abundance of places to go is probably exciting for people who are just getting into the business.
Do the rest of you think that Netflix and Hulu and digital distribution, are those good for television overall?
They're good for me as a producer. There's more
How
people
so?
buying, I mean, they're doing more scripted programming now, is the way I look at it. That this whole digital streaming is just another outlet, and it's another way for people to get their entertainment, and it's not dependent on a grid where it's all thrown up there at the same time of year, and you try and get everybody's attention, to watch at a certain time in a certain place. It's just about getting an awareness, and then they can come in and digest your show in bigger chunks. A lot of people will watch Nurse Jackie at the end of a season when it's on Netflix and rent it and just be on that journey and immerse themselves in it. And for me as a storyteller, that's really a great way for them to experience a show, even though, I'll be getting the numbers that we want on that weekly basis. But Hulu, Netflix, and other people out there, other new outlets buying original content as a producer, to me that's great.
I think it's, from a network point of view, I think that there's not a really good distribution system for us yet. A la carte programming, show specific, absolutely, fantastic. But I think if you look at the trend in media for networks and how you retain your brand and your message and your voice across all of your series, as you get into Hulu and Netflix, I think there's really big questions that are raised as how you continue the cable landscape with all of these new distribution methods.
Keep getting advertisers to buy spots when everybody's watching it.
Yeah, I mean, there's something new, right? And I think that's probably a panel for a different night. But I think the opportunities for what that medium is and how it moves, and that's the new frontier, and I don't think anybody's figured it out yet.
What about content-wise? Where are the most exciting pitches coming to you from? Is it reality? Is it scripted? Is it some combination of the two?
I think I've been a little bit jaded recently, and I will tell you, I think the best pitches I've gotten recently, and super excited about, bizarro, and I say bizarro in the most loving sense, but auteurs, real filmmakers, who typically, I think 3 years ago, would have frightened me. I would have been very frightened to buy projects from independent producers who are small, who've probably never produced a television show before, but what they can offer me is access into a world that, Pilgrim or Original or these bigger production companies aren't going to get. And that has been incredibly exciting and rewarding, and working with these up-and-coming filmmakers, sometimes pairing them with larger companies to get the series made. But I think that's been terribly exciting for me, and I think that's the opportunity that things like Netflix and all those, the YouTube channels, especially the millennials, and to your point, I mean, they're taking cameras and they're just going and they're doing it, and they're not waiting for pilot season, and they're not waiting for anybody. And I think when people can get out there and when you can create content and make yourself invaluable and find the talent, I mean, that's how to make it.
Shannon, is that something you're finding? Are you getting, handheld camera, great stuff from your audience? What?
It's a mixture. I mean, particularly with our viewers, they're not passive television viewers anymore. Remember, their social media isn't something that's an addition to their life. It's infused into their DNA. So for them to watch something online, or like there's so many kids now who don't even watch television. They just, they go on they go to Hulu or Netflix or whatever. So they're already kind of doing what the future of television on the whole is probably going to be. So like what you were talking about, it's already kind of happening with our audience. So which is a challenge for us, but I mean the best pitches, I think. You know, I mean, I get excited. There's not really any one source. It's just like you just kind of feel it in your bones. You know, when it's either.
Do you remember a specific example when you felt it in your bones?
Oh, this week. I mean, it happens. You know, not as much as I would like, but yeah, definitely. I mean,
And without spilling the beans, can you tell us a little bit about the show, or at least what about it hit you so hard?
You know, this is going to be a really annoyingly sort of amorphous answer, but it's like a gut feeling. I mean, I can look at the brand filter and all the things I know are working, and you know, we can tick a lot of boxes. This, we know our audience is 18 to 24-year-old girls, and they want this, that, and that. All of that's great, and I do look at our research, but sometimes you just get a feeling about something. This is, and most importantly, I think as storytellers, you should pick things that excite you, that you're passionate about, and if I can, you know, sell this to my boss, and because it doesn't necessarily tick all those boxes that we like it to tick, then yay, and that happens as much as, you know, the stuff that makes sense.
Is there ever a risk in sort of not knowing your audience too well, but having too many boxes to tick? Do you guys run into that a lot, where you feel too sort of hemmed in by what your network is supposed to be, or the kind of shows that you develop? How do you fight against that?
Me personally?
Is that something that you encounter?
Yeah, I do. You know, we also have a couple of different studios that we develop for, and they have different needs. And some of them I struggle with more, you know, that go against my sensibilities. But what you have to do is you have to kind of open your mind to, okay, here's what they need. They know what they need as a network, and they know their audience, and you just got to trust them at that point. You know, follow the lead and be creative and work with it. Because that's, you know, closing your mind off to it's not going to solve any problems, you know, so you need to just kind of look at it from a different way and then try to, you know, find a way that can meet in the middle ground, I think.
Nicole, how much attention do you pay to buzz, to critical reviews, to press? How much does that influence you?
It influences a lot. I mean, not enough that that's all I think about. But I mean, so often I think the projects that are circulating in cable TV, they are, you know, cookie cutter, mass produced, could live on 5 different networks. And that's the way of the business, right? I think if you're a producer and you have an idea, you don't necessarily feel passion for it. You just want to sell it to the widest possible buyers. And I think, you know, more often than not lately in my office, people come in and they show me the tape, and I just sit there and look at them. And that's really, this is what you're here to sell me today? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what I'm excited about. Let's talk about the opportunities. I think exactly what we're saying on this panel, in storytelling, what you want to make. And Sundance is a brand for a change that can support those visions for filmmakers. And I think, you know, to my surprise, not all producers get excited by that. And producers that I've worked with for years at different networks, and they say, you know, you're just really difficult to pitch you. And I said, funny, I think it would be so easy. It's the one show, Jen and I have my deep thoughts in the shower as well, but it's the one thing that you think about in the morning, or it's the last thing you think about, and then you think, oh, there's nobody who's ever going to buy that show. You know, take it to Sundance, take it to us, let's just see. But it's shocking to me time and time again about how many producers, I think, just, if you can't sell it to 5 different networks, it's not worth thinking about, on to the next thing.
I get that a lot.
That's depressing.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is, and you feel them. And at MTV, we're like, look, if you can pitch this to 4 or 5, don't bring it to me.
That's right.
You know, our audience wants something unexpected, and that's really exciting. And so what we say to a lot of producers and production companies is, come to us early on. When you shoot me an email and say, I have a log line for something, or I'm thinking about this space, and I can steer you and give you an MTV spin and help you make it feel uniquely for us. Otherwise, I don't want it. If this can be an Oxygen and Bravo and God knows where else, then it's not going to fly. And our audience sniffs that out. If they think another brand, and they're super brand savvy, can do it better than we can, they'll seek it out there, or they'll reject it from us. So we have to be that much smarter, I think, in some ways. It's sort of like what you're saying. It's like, hey, I don't get why you want to flog a pitch that you're not particularly passionate about. It seems like a lousy way to spend a day.
Yeah.
You're right?
It's true, though. You know, a lot of times, especially, you know, the agents will want you to go out and blanket the town with a pitch, and
So it's the agents that are the problem.
No,
We
that's
don't
a whole
have
other
any-
conversation.
Partially the producers too, because if we're going in with a pitch, we're not going to walk in someplace where we don't think that we have a chance with it and that it works for them and that it makes sense. Even if it means maybe there's 2 versions of that pitch and tailoring it for a different network, because especially in cable, a lot of networks, they have specific needs. Really in comedy too, it's like a Comedy Central comedy is very different from an FX comedy, which is different from an MTV show. They're all specific in a way, and you need to be able to reach them on a personal level, and not just kind of throw out your product and say is it right or not, and you want to change it.